Welcome back. This is part 2 of 4-digit division, where our dividend is 4 digits. In this video, unlike the last video, our first digit in our dividend cannot be divided by the divisor that we're given. In the last video, we were able to divide this first digit by our divisor, okay? But you will come across problems where you can't divide the first digit in the dividend by the divisor, okay? So that's what these are for. All right, so starting off, I'm going to try to divide my first digit by my divisor, okay? Remember, a dividend is the total amount of something that you have, okay? And I've been using paper clips, okay? So I have a total of 1 paper clip, and I want to take a group of 3 paper clips out of it. Obviously, I can't do that because there's only 1, okay? So I can take 0 groups out because I don't have enough, okay? That 0 is going to be a quotient, so I'm going to put that 0 up here. Now this 0, if you place a 0 above the first digit in the dividend, that's basically like a placeholder, okay? You don't need to go through all of these steps. You can if you want to, but really what's going to happen is you're going to end up doing the same thing that we're about to do, okay? It's just kind of an extra step that you don't need to do, okay? So if you have a 0 for the first digit in your quotient, don't go through these steps, okay? Just hold off. Watch what I'm going to do, okay? So instead of just underlining the first digit, I'm going to include the second digit as well, okay? That means I have 12, okay? And try to just ignore the rest of this for right now, okay? Just pretend like we're just dividing 12 divided by 3, okay? All right, so if you're good with those multiplication facts, you can figure this out. If you know what 3 times something equals 12, you can figure that out really easily. Okay, for some of us who still struggle with those multiplication facts, the hashtag would probably help you here. Okay, you're looking for the number 12. There it is right there. Okay, and I'm looking to see how many groups I have to take out to get that 12. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. Okay, so 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, and those that are good with those multiplication facts, you know that 4 times 3 is 12. That's why 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, all right, so that 4 is the quotient. So I'm going to put that 4 above the 2. Okay, now this is very important that you put that 0 there, because if you try to put the 4 here, you're going to end up trying to do too many rounds and you won't be able to. Okay, so that 0 is very, very important. If you can't divide the first digit of the dividend by the divisor, it's very important that you put that 0 above it to hold that place. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to start going through my steps. Okay, so I've divided. Now I need to multiply. Put my multiplication sign. I'm going to multiply the 4 times the 3. Okay, 4 times 3 is 12. That 12 is going to go down here underneath what I underlined. Okay, now I'm going to subtract it. 12 minus 12 leaves me with nothing. Okay, next step is to bring down. Remember, you can only bring down 1 digit at a time. So I brought down the 4. Okay, I can't bring the 6 down. I can only bring the 4. All right, next step is to repeat and divide. Okay, remember, after the first time that we divide up here, we don't divide from the top anymore. We divide from the bottom. Okay, so I'm dividing 4 divided by 3. Okay, so I have a total of 4. Okay, well, if I look at my multiples here, I don't have a 4. That's because 4 doesn't divide by 3 evenly. Okay, so I've got to get as close to 4 as I can without going over. Okay, that's going to be the 3. Okay, so we can only take 1 group of 3 out of the 4. Okay, so we're going to say that 4 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, so that 1 is a quotient. It goes up here where quotients go. All right, so we've divided again. Now we need to multiply that 1 times the 3. 1 times 3 is 3. that 3 is going to go underneath my 4 here. Don't try to put it over here. Don't try to put it here. It's got to go in the ones place underneath this digit. Okay, so now I need to subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1, and obviously those are zeros. Okay, now I need to bring down my next digit. Now I'm going to bring down that 6. Put it next to the 1, and I have the number 16. Okay, so now it's time to repeat and start division again. Okay, remember, after we divide up here the first time, we don't divide from up here anymore. We divide from down here. Okay, so 16 divided by 3 now. Okay, so look at your multiples. All right, there's no 16 in our multiples, right? Because there's nothing that I could multiply times 3 that would give me 16. So I've got to get as close to 16 as I can without going over 16. Okay, that looks to be 15. 18 is too much, so I'm going to go with 15. Now I need to see how many groups that is that gets me that 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we're going to say that 16 divided by 3 equals 5. Okay, that is a quotient. Remember, all these are quotients. That 5 needs to go up here where the quotients go. So we've divided again. Now I need to multiply that 5 by my divisor. 5 times 3 is 15. That 15 is going to come down here under the 16. So I've multiplied. Now I need to subtract. Okay. 16 minus 15 leaves me with 1. Okay, next step would be to bring down, but there's nothing to bring down. Okay, so I'm going to get my little cheat sheet here. We've checked off number 1, nothing left to bring down. Number 2, is the remainder smaller than the divisor? Yes, it is. 1 is less than 3. Okay, number 3, are all of the digits in the dividend covered? Okay, meaning do they have a digit above them? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so I am done dividing. Now I just need to check. Okay, so I'm going to take my 415 and I'm going to multiply it by my divisor of 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry my 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. And then 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, now that does not match my dividend yet. Remember, I have a remainder that I need to add into that. 5 plus 1 is 6. Bring down the 4, the 2, and the 1. Now it matches. So our answer would be 415, remainder 1. Okay. Next problem. All right. Starting off with that first digit. Okay, so I'm going to try and divide 3 divided by 4. Okay, so you notice my dividend is smaller than my divisor. Okay, I'm going to use my paper clips again. There's 1, 2, and 3 paper clips. I have a total of 3. Okay, so when your dividend is smaller than your divisor, that means you can't take any groups of that divisor out because you don't have enough. I only have 3 here. I can't take 4 out of it. Okay, so we're going to say that 3 divided by 4 is 0. Okay, that is a quotient. So that 0 is going to go up here. Now remember, that 0 is just going to be a placeholder because it's the first one in my quotient. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of these steps. Instead, when you realize you can't divide this first digit by this one, if this digit is smaller than this one and you have to put the 0 up there, then we're going to stretch our line to include the second digit. Okay, so now I'm going to try 32 divided by 4 since we couldn't get anything with just the first digit. Okay, so if I look down at my hashtag, there's a 32 right there. Okay, that takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups to get that 32. Okay, so 32 divided by 4 equals 8. Okay, that is a quotient, so that 8 is going to go up here. Okay, now I'm going to start with my steps. So I've divided. Now I need to multiply. And remember, I don't need to multiply this 0 because it's the first digit in my quotient. Okay, if it's the first one you have up here, you don't need to go through the whole process with that 0. Okay, I'm just going to multiply the 8 times the 4, which is 32. Okay, so that 32 is going to go down underneath my underline. Okay, next step is to subtract. 32 minus 32 leaves me with nothing. Okay, now I'm going to bring down the 2. Okay, next step is to repeat and start over with division. Okay, so I'm going to divide from down here. So now I'm dividing 2 divided by 4. Uh-oh. I noticed my dividend is smaller than my divisor. I have 2 total paper clips. I can't take 4 out of it. That means I can take 0 groups. Okay? Got to get that 0. That 0 is a quotient, so it's going to go up here. Okay? Now, if your 0 is inside the quotient, if it's not the first digit in your quotient, then you do have to multiply it times your divisor. Okay? So I'm going to take my 0, I need to mark that off, and multiply it times 4. 0 times 4 is 0. That's going to come down here under the 2, just like it was any other digit. Okay, so I've multiplied. Now I need to subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. Now I need to bring down, so I'm going to bring down that 4 to make the number 24. Okay, now I need to repeat and start over with division. Remember, I divide from the bottom now. So I'm dividing 24 divided by 4. Okay, well, if I look over here, aha, there's 24. That takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups to get that 24. So 24 divided by 4 is 6. That 6 is a quotient, so it goes up here where quotients go. All right, so I've divided again. Now I need to multiply that 6 times the 4, which is 24. And that 24 is going to go underneath this 24. Now I need to subtract it. 24 minus 24 leaves me with nothing. Next step would be to bring down. Aha, I have nothing to bring down. All right, so bring out my paper. All right, so we've satisfied number 1. Now number 2, is the remainder smaller than your divisor? 0 is less than 4, so yes. Okay, number 3, are all of the digits in the dividend covered with a digit? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so I'm done dividing. Now I need to multiply my 806 times 4. All right, 806 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry my 2 up and over. 4 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. 4 times 8 is 32. This time it does match because I don't have a remainder to add in. So my answer for this problem would be 806 remainder 0. All right. Keep up the practice. The more practice you do, the easier it will get. Okay, so keep practicing.